From a distance, this place looks finished. The walls are up, the roof's in place, the forest grown around it enough that it finally feels settled. It's easy to stop here, to call it done and move on to the next project. But buildings don't really become places until you step inside them. The inside is slower, quieter. It doesn't change the skyline or show up in wide shots most of the time. It's just problem solving. Figuring out how rooms connect, where light should fall, and how a space is actually meant to be used. And it's that part that's the easiest to put off. The part you tell yourself you'll get back to later. But today, that's the focus. No new land, no new big expansion, just taking what already exists and finally giving it purpose from the inside out. So let's head inside, explore the empty halls, imagine the corners coming to life, and start finishing the part of the build that truly makes this place feel like home. Hello, welcome to episode 8. Last time we built up the first part of the forest around the manor, and honestly it all feels so much better. But today we're tackling something different. Two things actually. I finally need to build a mob switch I've been putting off since forever, because this house is filled with it, and the forest that is hard to light up is also gonna need a mob switch, because you can't really light up a forest with torches, and the only solution is lichen, and I don't want to use that. So that's why we are going to use a mob switch, because this house has all been blown up. As you can see right here, there's been a creeper incident, and right here. And we're also going to decorate the manor and furnish this place. If time allows, add a few more trees around the edges, because this is just the first part. So let's go on an adventure. So for this I'm gonna need a lot of villagers, but apart from that, a couple of pistons, redstone, levers and blocks, which is perfect because I already have everything here in my storage. So let's get collecting. I know this is gonna take time, mob switches always do, but the part I'm not even sure about is whether it will even work anymore. I originally built it on a paper server before on Aternos, and that was before moving this world to a vanilla like original micro server. So it's been dragged through a couple of server changes since then. So at this point it's kind of a mystery, but we're about to find out together. And that means I will build a mob switch here, and because it didn't work, it just got abandoned. But so all that we have to do is just fill it up with villagers and then turn them into zombie villagers. And I think we'll hop into a creative world to showcase this, why we just use zombie villagers. So we're now in my creative world. So here you can see 4 specific mobs, but why these? Well, these 4 mobs can take up the mob cap, but don't despawn when you're out of render distance, which is amazing. And this is the guy I want to use specifically, because it's the easiest to get. So hopefully you understand now. Alright, back to the video. This is what's left. It's strange how fast the place can lose its purpose. Everything's still here, the rails, the walls, the redstone. The space hasn't changed, but whatever made it work is gone. And that's the part that feels off. because this didn't start empty. Now that the villagers are going to get to breeding and just filling up the space, I noticed that the iron farm had stopped working, and I wondered why. And it's probably pretty obvious what the problem is. And it's that the pillager, or yeah, the pillager is gone. I don't know how he's gone, but it's just, yeah, he's just gone. So while they are breeding, I thought we could fix that by going to the desert where I have a pillager outpost and fixing a new pillager. So let's go. Alright, next step, name tags. These guys need to stay exactly where they are. If they're name tag, they won't despawn, which means the mobs which should stay loaded and working no matter what. It's tedious, yeah, but once this is done, I won't have to think about mobs ever again. At least, that's the plan. As the sun is going down, mobs will start to spawn, so that means we can go get our zombie. That will turn the villagers into zombie villagers, and the mob switch is gonna finally be done. So I thought I could just get one from the mob farm, but I just felt lazy, so because I didn't want to drag one out of the mob farm. So I thought I'd get one in the nearby area. So let's go find one real quickly. And it seems like we have one over here, so let's go get this one. I just have to kill the spider in the way first. And another one. Yeah, go down. Okay, let's just get this guy over. So let's go get some iron blocks. No, why are you falling down? Oh, forget about it. Let's find another one. So, oh, it seems like we have one right over here. Let's just kill another spider. And then we get this zombie to follow us all the way back. This is gonna take a little while, but it shouldn't be a big of a problem. Okay, we are finally getting close to the mob switch, and I will set up a little thing here, so it just has to follow us up here and go down into the hole real quickly. Oh, seems like it went over the hole. It's okay, we just pushing down. Now it's gonna start making a massacre in there, and first we have to make sure that the iron golems are gone. So Now let's take a look inside with the free cam. And yeah, okay, it seems it's not that far actually, but it's on its way. Let's just keep an eye out on the progress here and be right back when they are all turned into zombie villagers. This part always feels wrong. You spend all this time breeding villagers, keeping them safe, just to line them up and let the zombie loose. But it's one of those steps you have to push through because you're sure it will all be worth it in the end. No spawn chunks, no constant loading, and on top of that, me name tagging the villagers to stop them from despawning actually turns them into non-persistent mobs. So between those two things, the game kinda just says, nope, doesn't count, and the mob switch doesn't work at all. So I had to make the call. It's rough, but there's no point in keeping them here if the system itself doesn't work anymore. But honestly, this might be for the better. Instead of hiding a broken mob switch here, we can move it closer and build it into the manor, giving the place a real purpose, something that actually fits the world and still makes this place an area worth visiting. So yeah, 2 days lost, but maybe the manor just gained a new reason to exist. So instead of this thing sitting over at the mob farm, it's going to live here, right under the manor, hidden, but intentional. It's not about it being pretty, it's about what it does for space, being able to build, decorate and work around here without constantly watching my back. I think that's the part I like most about this world, where mistakes don't get erased, just turn into something else. From the beginning, this was meant to live with the manor, not as a separate machine, not buried and forgotten, but as something tied to the place itself. You could have left it where it failed, walked away, written it off as wasted time and forgot about it like last time. Most people would. But instead, you chose to move it, to pull the idea apart and rebuild it where it actually belonged. That says something about how you build. Not chasing perfection, just continuity, letting the world remember its mistakes instead of erasing them. The manor above doesn't just stand on stone, it stands on decisions like this, quiet ones, made after things go wrong. And maybe that's the real structure taking shape here. That is what adds real lure and character into a build. By the way you adapt and keep building anyway, that is a build you will always remember. Alright, let's actually build this. This place has been hollow for a long time, just waiting. Interiors take more thought than anything else. Every room becomes a small problem to solve. You try something, step back, change it, and try again until it finally clicks. And when it does, the space changes, not because it's perfect, but because it feels lived in. This isn't just a building anymore, it's a place to return to, a home. He told himself it would only take a moment, a few trees, a small addition. But time doesn't wait for plans, it moves on, quietly deciding what gets finished and what gets saved for later. Today, the forest stays as it is. Not because it's done, but because sometimes knowing when to stop matters just as much as knowing what to add. Each episode leaves its mark, a few more details, a little more weight, slowly turning a structure into something that feels complete, even if the work is never really finished. And even unfinished, it feels like a place worth staying. And that's episode 8 wrapped up. We got to work in Mob Switch. The manor finally has a real interior. Next time, we'll keep pushing this place further. Maybe more forest, maybe something completely new. We'll see. And if you like this episode, consider liking and subscribing. Anyways, I wish you all the best. And see you soon.